We know that it's time to, make those snacks, and listen, the campers know who they are. They're going to the store, they're buying a party-sized bag of Doritos and say, we're going to make this last for a couple of days. Hey, you see that? That was it. Yeah, well, April Godfrey says, no. There are better things to do, that you can even make and keep stuff healthy even as you go out camping, right?
Yeah, I think camping, prepping your food in general ahead of time, especially if you're camping, going to be doing a lot of strenuous physical activity and hiking, you want to be prepared.
And so that means eating less of the Doritos, not just because they're garbage, but because you can eat stuff that are high in protein and be more healthier, so that kind of gets you what you need to go hiking. To do the strenuous stuff a little easier.
Yeah, they're fun and they're salty, but there's no nutrition.
Right.
So they're going to kind of slow you down versus pump you up and fuel you through your whole camping expedition.
They are fun. Oh,
so
forget
fun.
it. We're not going to do that. This is better. Chocolate chip cookie dough bites. Let's go to work.
So you can make these ahead of time. We have got them packed with so much nutrition.
Right.
We've got cashews and ground flaxseed, oats, some cashew butter. They're sweetened with maple syrup. And here, well, let's just get started. We're going to put in our cashews into our blender.
And it's funny, when I came to see you a few minutes ago, I said, oh, well, clearly this has to be made ahead of time, unless you're bringing a blender with you to the campground, which I don't think anybody does.
Some people do. They have little handhelds. But
yeah,
it's a lot
that's
of work.
true.
So we're just going to zhuzh that up. You're going to zhuzh that until it's just a fine powder.
I'm sorry, what?
Zhuzh.
Can you spell that?
Zhuzh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zhuzh.
I don't think that's English. All right.
Zhuzh.
Okay, fine, that works.
With a Z in there somewhere.
Something.
And then you're going to add in some...
Now you bring the wet ingredients in.
Yes,
okay.
We've got 2 tablespoons of maple syrup for a nice natural sweetener. Sugar is sugar is sugar, but it's a slower release when it's a natural, less processed sweetener.
See, she knows what she's talking about.
Vanilla there, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cashew butter. You could use almond butter.
I was just going to say,
butter.
Can you go off script with the type of nuts you're using and the type of butter?
Nuts and nut butters, absolutely. Also, if you have a nut-free house, you could use all oats and just grind those up, and then use sun butter or tahini.
Zhuzh that up.
So we're going to zhuzh this.
Because once you do, then, and this doesn't take long, clearly, obviously.
A little more zhuzhing, and then we would add the little chips, but it's going to come out to this consistency.
Right. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all ground up. But then, when you
start
to, when you start to press it together, it all just binds.
Okay, so bind one.
So we're going to bind one.
Zhuzh bind one.
We're going to bind one. Obviously, you're going to wash your hands really well.
Thank you for that. Yes, of course.
And you're going to just make, whatever size you'd like.
Now you have options again. Because you want to put them in the freezer, but you don't necessarily have to. You could eat it just like that.
No, you can eat it just like this. And you could do this, store it in the fridge, you're good.
But you can even flare it up.
Yeah, so if you pop them in the freezer for a few minutes, and if you want to make them a little fancier, maybe you're having a barbecue and you just want a really fun sweet snack that you can pull out, you can take half cup of chocolate chips and a little bit of coconut oil.
Okay, that would be
melt it up in the microwave.
And dip them in.
Dip them in. So these, I put a little crystallized, big crystal sea salt on top of it. These are fine.
And you want to freeze those for a few minutes so that obviously they get hardened up.
Yes.
And then you're good to go.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that, though.
You don't. I like to freeze them before because the chocolate just takes better.
Well, for that, if you want the chocolate,
but you don't have to keep them in the freezer. You could keep them in the fridge.
And the best part is you could take a whole bag of these to camping wherever you go. They're ready to rock.
Ready to rock.
Sweet, simple, delicious. She knows what she's talking about. April Godfrey, always delighted to see you. It's funny. It's not that I haven't eaten it because I know I'm going to like it, but I also know with all that nut butter, it's going to be tough to touch. So I'm just going to go. Okay, back to you, Bridget.